So for the longest time, maybe for the last 2 years, I've been using this Cast King bag. And it's a good bag. It'll hold 5 35 or 3600 Plano boxes. You know, it's not bad. But there's some things that annoy me about it. One, this opens up the wrong way. If I'm sitting here, I have to go around behind and then flip this over to get into the top half of the bag. Didn't like that. These are always getting in the way. The straps on the side always getting in the way. In other words, it's a good bag, and I've used it successfully for a few years, but it got to the point where I was annoyed. And the other thing that it got to the point was I had more stuff in categories of stuff that I was taking on the boat than I had places to put it in this bag. So, great bag, served me well, but I'm going to repurpose it to a friend and let them enjoy it for a while. Now, I have a Bass Pro Shop credit card. Been buying a bunch of stuff, accumulating points, and this particular Bass Pro bag went on sale. And this particular Bass Pro bag went on sale. And boy, by the time I applied my points to it from my card, it almost paid for itself. Not quite, but almost. Here's a brand new product, get this out of the way to begin with, that will be on our merch store eventually when that opens. We're gonna have Fishing Takes Faith shirts, but this is what I call the official Fishing Takes Faith slime towel. When you get your hands all slimed up from fishing, wipe it, use the other side, wipe the sweat off your brow. Fishing Takes Faith. If you're gonna do it, wipe the slime in style, right? Okay, slime towel. Here's what I love about this bag. When I'm on the boat working, I'll open this up. I'll take this, and I'll just tuck this down in there. Now it's out of the way. You'll see here, I've got 7 3600 Planos. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's pretty obvious. Hard lures, soft lures, worms, with fat and finesse, worms, swimmers, creatures, and of course, tackle. And you know, I don't carry all my tackle with me. I carry a handful of each, 3 or 4 hooks, 3 or 4 of everything. Really what you're looking for is just enough stuff to take you through today's trip. And once you get low, you go back to your inventory, refill it. But you know, I've always found that if you got like 30 hooks in there and you're trying to get just one out, you end up either sticking yourself or hooking 4 or 5 other hooks and having a big mess on your hands. So keep it simple. The stuff you use goes in the bag and it's always readily available, okay? On my creatures, let's go to the creatures because this is sort of interesting. Creatures, I have got small little creatures from our BFS rig, okay? I've got some brand new little tubes, little micro tubes. Those are cool. I've got bigger bugs, small lizards, okay? Most of the stuff in here is petite. I've got some trailers for some from jigs and things, but this is just creatures. And of course, we all know what swimmers are. This is self-evident. There they are. You'll notice that I keep predominantly with greens, particularly, you know, dark green, pumpkin, right? Then I have a lot of the purples and blues. Those are some bigger swimmers there. I've got small swimmers, okay? I have some little bit larger tubes for some pitching. And of course, one of my favorites I always keep nearby are lizards. And I'll tell you what, when nothing else is hitting, oftentimes changing up to something totally out of the normal for the fish, they really go for these. So, there's my swimmers. Worms are worms, we all know that. You'll notice I don't have tons of different colors. I got greens, variations on greens, some dark, some mediums, some lights. I've got all the way down to pure black worms for evening. I've got worms that are two-tone, dark on one side, bright on the other side. Here where I live, when the water's real turbid like it is right now, the super dark worms work much better than the green ones. And the light green stuff just isn't seen. It matches the stuff floating in the water and they disappear. So the darker contrast lures, worms, creatures, they seem to get more action than the green ones. Now this is sort of a fun category. I call it fat and finesse. Worms, fat and finesse. And I know it's self-explanatory, but let's take a look anyways. I've got some of these big, fat tournament luggers here, man. Got some fat ones. Again, dark green, medium green. Then I've got the little finesse worms, okay? I've got some blood red ones, just a good variety. This combination, I can fish almost anything. Everything from my finesse all the way up to my pitching rig, so we're good to go on that. Worms, finesse. Soft lures, as the name implies, are all of our nice little plastic lures. These made by Megabass are just killer. Man, they swim great, and the right color, usually I throw these first thing in the morning, and I always get hookups on these. Of course, I've got frogs, big frogs, little frogs. I had just stuff. Matter of fact, these little teeny bluegills, man, put that on the super light line, and boy, you can get some action with these. So, all kinds of plastics. You have your favorites, I have mine, but they go into the soft lure bin. Finally, we got hard lures, and these are some of my favorites. I got 3 whopper ploppers, they're different sizes. I got some divers, some topwater, just a variety of stuff that I can quickly change out depending on how the mood hits me. So, that's my core arsenal of lures. But what's interesting is this bag is so good, there is room here to put another 3600 will fit in there. So I could grab a 3600, pop it in there, and it'll zip right up. Okay? And I probably will do that. What I'm thinking about is my GoPro gear. I'll take my GoPro, throw it in here. That way, I've got my camera gear with me. I'm ready to go for both the videoing and for fishing. Now, I really love these 2 little pockets here and here. Why? Line cutter. And it just works perfect. It just tucks down in there. On my other bag, I couldn't find a place where I could tuck it out of the way where the retractor was always in the way. It was tangling on something. And if you got one, why not have 2? This is on another retractor. Both of these work great. I don't know. I think I might like these a little bit better. These Rapala, they're sweet, You give it a little squeeze. The scissors come out and clip. Stay sharp. Perfect. I've got my handy dandy. I like the needle nose like this. This, I tell you, for getting down in the mouth, going deep, occasionally, you wait a little too long to set the hook and the bass has got it stuck down in his gullet. This you can reach down there and oftentimes remove it without damaging the fish. And all about not damaging the fish. All right, let's go side compartments. Now, on the side compartments, I've got, a book here. I've got little cards for the channel. I've got a neck scarf to go there. But if I open this rascal up, I have got some more of my tackle. Now, you may have been wondering, you didn't see any real weights inside my terminal tackle box. That's because I have a specific little box just with weight in it. And you can see I've got labels there for each of the weight in grams. I do this so that I'm always setting up my assembly, okay, my terminal tackle, the hook, the sinker, the worm. I want to keep it in the sweet spot for the rod, the reel. Too heavy, and you're just casting bombs and you have no control over it. Too light, you just can't throw a lure anywhere. But when you get it balanced, the right line on the right rod and the right reel, it's enjoyable to do. So my weights are in a separate category. Then these little double-sided boxes are really cute. This is the equivalent of a 3600 or a 3500 Plano box. My BFS tackle. These are my all-time favorite hooks. I'll tell you, I just absolutely love these guys. They have the weight is right there with the eye. What I love about these is they pull through the grass. They don't get hung up. Whereas when you're using, a traditional jig head, oftentimes the grass is catching right there around that jig head, whereas these tend to slide through. So BFS tackle, flipping tackle. This is set up with the stuff that I would use if I'm going after big fish and I'm in the reeds. I'm putting on a 65-pound line. I've got a heavy weight. I can go up to a 5.0 hook, so this is some great terminal tackle. This will get the job done. So weights, terminal tackle back in the bag. Let's go around the other side. Casting scale, you got to have this. If you can't just tell people you caught a 10-pound bass and it only weighed 4 pounds. You need to have a photo with the proof of it, okay? And then I have a second little one, and this is for jigs and blades, okay? Blades on one side, jigs on the other side. So, of course, these are all of my chatterbaits. And again, you'll notice the color selection is pretty limited. I've got black and blue, I've got 3 greens, and I got a white one. So I've got colors in here that work well in the waters I fish. On the back side, we have our jigs, and guess what? I've got black and blue, I've got greens, I got a green mixture, I've got an orange and black, and of course a white one. And I also have jigs already on some of my rods, so this is plenty. And remember, I'm only taking enough tackle for today. It's not like I have to have 3 or 4 extra of each ones. They are stored down over here in the jigs. My extra ones are over there. If I lose something, I just replenish this box, and I keep this full, and I'm always ready for the water. Now you'll notice we got some slots on the side. We also have, all this great tactical webbing here, hanging stuff off of that. That works. In this compartment up above, I have some loose stuff, and some of the loose stuff is big jigs. Some of it is like a little container like this, where I have 2 super lightweight spinners, okay? And I have a full-size spinner in here as well. I also have little teeny micro tube bait there that'll go on some super lightweight when I'm throwing BFS. So these are great, but I just keep these in a little bag out of the way, and when I need them, I know where to go for them. Well, we're down to only one side, and that's the back. And right now I have the official fish recognition chart. Oh, by the way, there's one more thing. Stashed away down below here is a waterproof cover. So if I'm in the rain, out on the boat, this will do a fair job of repelling some of the water, keeping from flooding the case out. Now, you might be thinking, Rob, you probably paid a fortune for this. Well, they retail for, somewhere around $100. Okay, right now, Bass Pro was running a $79 deal. Pretty good. And I had over $30, $35 in points. So I walked out of there with this costing me less than $50. And I tell you, I'm so excited for this bag. I think it's going to be a great combination for the boat, and just carry it out, throw it on the boat, and I am good to go. Good to go.